practicing all this time and heading towards the big finale, how many hula hoops are you actually going for?
I'm going to try to twirl 65 simultaneously.
65? What rules do you have to go by for this?
Well, the rule is that all the hoops have to go around 3 times before the first one hits the floor. And after that, it's anybody's way of doing it.
And obviously on this part of the body is it's the biggest, is it?
If I could twirl it up around my arms, I'd do that. But it turns out that the most efficient way to do it is to twirl the hoops between my arms and the bottom of my torso.
Mm. Well, you're actually the world freestyle champion, aren't you?
That's right.
So would you be kind enough to give us a demonstration of freestyle, first of all?
Sure.
I have found. Put your mind in the world, put your body in a spin. Gonna tell you people about the shape I'm in. A twirl at a start and you finish way out. Just forward, stretch, spinning about. Gonna wrap the mummy, gonna alley-oop to the hula hop and the loop-de-loop. There ain't no trick that I can't do. I'm the wizard of the hoop, I'm telling you, Everybody gonna loop-de-loop, spin a hula hoop to the alley-oop. I'm the wizard with the magic hoop, Everybody gonna take a spin, grab a hula hoop, let the fun begin. Everybody get a hula hoop, If you want that hoop right down to the ground, all you got to do is just...
Well, Melody, in view of my efforts at the top, I feel totally inadequate. Why are you attempting this world record?
Well, I had the record about 13 years ago, doing 42 hoops at once. And I thought it would be good if eventually I made another try to do it. And as I'm already in Britain for a 7-Up Super Hoopers tour and in pretty good condition, I figured this is about the time I should be trying it again.
What actually attracted you to hula hooping in the first place?
I saw somebody on television doing it, actually. And that's how I got hooked on it. And there was a competition that was run in the United States for freestyle hooping.
I love this casual with the arm while I'm talking to you. You're actually you're doing a psychology PhD, aren't
That's
you?
right, at the University of California at Berkeley.
It begs the question why you're not spending more time doing your studies and less time hula hooping around the world.
Well, I think it's important for everybody to have a hobby and to try to be as broad as possible. And when I had the opportunity to take my hula hoops and come to Europe, I thought, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, so I'll take it.
Because you do actually maintain that hula hooping is good for you, don't you? And you teach it.
That's right. It actually burns up about 250 calories an hour if you're willing to hula hoop for an entire hour. But it's very much all-over exercise because you twirl the hoops around your arms and your legs and your feet, as you can see. So it's not quite the same as twirling the hoop in 1958, which is what people did around their middle.
But do you think you're ready for the big one now, for the 65 at once?
I think so. I think it's time for the attempt.
Well, I think I'll get well out of your way and wish you all the luck in the world.
First we have to bring them over to center.
Have you ever done it before that well? I mean, that looked pretty good to me.
No, actually, this is the first time live on television.
Well, I think we'll have a little look in a minute at an actual action replay of that, because that was totally remarkable, if I can say that. And maybe you'll be going into the Guinness Book of Records, I hope?
Well, I hope so.
There, look, we can see you.
Oh, it's coming up now.
Look at that. You look like you're being eaten by an enormous monster of rings. That's fantastic. I'm extremely impressed. Are you pleased?
Oh, yes, I'm very pleased.
Well, we've been joined by Marion. Marion, what do you think of that?
Yes, well, I was watching over at the side there. I thought that was amazing. Because it must be... I know you were telling us earlier on that they were light.
That's right.
Quite heavy. Sort of lifting them all up.
They're very bulky, you see, and actually the limiting factor for me, because I'm only 5'2", is not my weight, but the length of my arms, because I have to get the hoops underneath both arms, and that's the critical factor, is trying to make my arms stretch, so I had to do a session on the rack last night.
Well, what now?
Well, I guess now that I have the record back after 13 years, I guess I'll keep doing freestyle hooping, and hopefully a lot of people will see it and take it up, and maybe somebody who's watching out there now will eventually have this record.
Well, we hope so.
I think that's excellent. Very well done. I think you should get your breath back now. Sit in the cool somewhere, and let's end the program. Where are we? With some nice, peaceful music, because Maggie Moon reckons it also